Hello, how you doing? I'd like to welcome you to the Prophet E Show, where I am Eugene, pastor of Second Chance Gift of Deliverance Ministry. Today I'd like to talk to you about 2 Timothy, the 4th chapter, I believe it's 3 and 4, where it speaks about the itchy ear and how people will not adhere to sound doctrines or teachings. They prefer to hear the lie instead of the truth. It reminds me back when we look in Romans, where it says that when you had an opportunity to serve God, you chose not to. And now we're in a crazy, for lack of words, time right now where we see so many people who are caught up in this thing called conspiracy theories. We have conspiracy theory preachers and teachers, and you turn on YouTube and all the different social media, and you begin to hear people talk about the vaccine being the mark of the beast, or this being the mark of the beast, that being the mark of the beast. But at the same tone and same voice, they turn around and tell you how to make money, send money, and they speak about money. Now, if the virus is the mark of the beast, then why do I need to send you money? Or what's the purpose of me saving up money when money has no value if the chip is the mark of the beast? According to scripture, it says that you can't sell or buy without that particular mark. But yet we see people get caught up in this conspiracy teaching, meaning that most of the teaching sounds good but has no factual base behind it. I used to consider myself a conspiracy theorist, but then I realized after looking at a lot of different people, my understanding of that word was wrong. So I began to realize that there's a difference between conspiracy theory and being a realist, or a person who understands that between the truth and the lie. Let me explain. As we begin to look at today, where we at now, how many of you ever asked yourself, God, where are you? Lord, why can't you hear me? What am I doing wrong that God can't hear me? Did God give up on me? Did I do something? Why? And the thing is that a big percentage of why you can't hear from God, or why it seems as God is not hearing you, or in other words, why it seems as if God blocked your call, is because of several things. Not one or two things, but it could be several things. As we begin to look in the book of Deuteronomy, or the book of the law tells us about the different consequences of sin, and what sin does, and why when sin is birthed, what it conceived, or what to say, when sin is, when sin comes forward, things comes out of sin, for lack of words. So if God isn't hearing me, could it be that I have either one, a sin issue, or is it because that I've been ignoring God and only coming to God when I need him? Now that brings us back to, I believe it was Proverbs, where it spoke about that God said that it's going to be a time when you're going to call for me and I'm going to laugh at you. I'm going to ignore you. I'm going to laugh. You're going to, and that's the worst thing in the world, to really need somebody really bad. And all they can do is laugh at you, because they say that you only come to me when you need me. I tell you to do something, but your stubbornness and your rebellion causes you not to hear me. And scripture says that stubbornness and rebellion is like unto the devil. I'm sorry, it's like unto witchcraft. No, I was going to block that, but I'm just going to let it roll. So in our walk with God, we have to ask ourselves, what sin issue that I'm dealing with, or remember, it could be a sin issue, but what else could have blocked us from God? It could be the simple fact that we actually walked away from God. But religion teaches us, not scripture, not biblical preaching, not biblical teachings, but religion teaches us that once saved, always saved. Religion teaches us that God knows my heart. Religion teaches us that I can do whatever I want here because God knows my heart. So as long as I do my dirt here and go to church this day and participate in this and say, okay, premeditated sin, and then turn around and say, oh, God, forgive me, I didn't mean to do it. But you knew you meant to do it, because if God knows your heart, God knew that you sinned deliberately and you was expecting for him to forgive you because of religion. You see, people get our relationship with God and religion mixed up. Now, this particular video is pretty much a lot of rants and a lot of things so that I can get myself together so that I can produce more videos. So please bear with me through all these different mistakes that I'm making. But I have a point to prove. In our shows that we will be bringing you, it's gonna take me to do a lot of praying and a lot of fasting to bring forth a lot of different things to you. Because through my whole teaching, I pray that you could be able to tell the difference between when I'm saying something and when God inspires me to say something. I hope that what we say on this particular show will lead you closer to God and begin to help you find your place at your local place of worship or your local place of church. You see, when this coronavirus first started, or better yet, I will say, my issue started about 4 years ago, probably longer. Well, she started long ago, but the thing that murdered, or not so much murder, the thing that crippled me was that so many preachers had gotten so political to the point they didn't know they were killing people. I mean, spiritually killing and murdering people. And sending a lot of people that were under their care. I hope I'm still going because my Siri went off. I had to whisper it because I don't want it to pop back up. So when we look at how so many people got so political involved and took God out of the church and placed religion into the church, placed religion and politics and conspiracy theories in the church, a lot of people started losing their faith. And also, fear kicked in. Fear is the most dangerous weapon. And we have to learn how to combat against that particular agent, fear. Because if we don't understand how to destroy fear, fear destroys us. Scripture says that God did not give unto us the spirit of bondage again unto fear, or God didn't give us the spirit of fear. Whatever how you want to word it, but I'm just paraphrasing it right now because, like I said, this is just pretty much a demo. I got to get a lot of stuff out of me so that the rest of my videos will be a little bit more professional. So, if God didn't give us the spirit of fear, we recognize that the fear is a spirit that attacks our emotions. That attacks our emotion, which is our feelings, that attack our, and it does so many different things when fear is conceived inside of us. It begins to cause us to question and doubt who we are, question and doubt who God is. We fail to realize that we have authority over fear. And fear has no dominion over us. But how do we speak to fear when we don't know how? We don't know. How do we speak to fear when we weren't taught or trained how to bind up fear, or how to arrest fear, or how to take authority over fear? We hear people preach about face your fears and do this with your fears and do that with your fears, and it sounded good at the time, but the question is, how do we conquer a spirit when we can't even conquer our own mindset? I'm going to pause right here, and then I'm going to start another video up. Okay?